Are you trying to replace your water pump because it's bad and you don't know how to do it and you looked up on YouTube but you still can't find the right video because it's too much talking and it's not enough doing? This is gonna be the right video for you. Let's go. First of all, okay, this is Dennis's M3. It's super nice. It's got an exhaust. It's an 05. But he's got a coolant leak in his water pump. So we're doing that today. We're doing a thermostat as well. Might as well, because it's right over it. First off, you want to do is remove all this plastic that's going to be in your way, and then we're going to drain the coolant. So this is how it looks like with plastic's on. Why am I even saying this? But let's go.
This is my clean ass air filter.
Hell clean, dude. Guess what? We're not replacing that. Oh, you missed it. There's oil on it, dude.
Is there?
It's for lubrication of air. All right, after you get all the plastics and the air intake off and whatnot, you want to remove the fan shroud as well as the fan itself. There is a tool for it, but if you do not have a tool, you can take a 32 mil and a large flat.
So 1/4.
Like quarter.
1 1/4.
1 1/4.
This is a 32
It's
millimeter.
32 mil if you're going metric, yeah. It's pretty simple. It's counterclockwise, remember that? Oh, to loosen it, it's clockwise. My bad. Oh, you're doing that? That's
We
nice.
can show them the regular way.
The regular way, not my way.
I don't
not
know how
the
you
bunk
did
way.
it.
All right, we'll use this to undo it, and we'll use my method to do it. To screw it back on and Miriam. Dude, if your method isn't gonna work, my method works all the time. And it's easier. It's less complicated, dude. Look at you! Trying to get it with all these air tools. We gotta unscrew the shroud first. So there's 4 bolts. There's one on this side. There's one on the very bottom. There's one on the side right there, and then one on the bottom on this side. Check it. So there's another bolt right up there.
Oh man, it got so bad.
I wonder if it got worse. It got worse, huh?
It did.
It definitely got worse. There's one right there on the bottom. It's a T25 Torx. Pretty simple. There's only 4. One on each corner. You'll find them. Then you spin it clockwise to unscrew it all the way. And make sure to be careful because it's gonna drop. Boom. It's released. You just remove it together kind of thing. You kind of wiggle it out. That's out. You might want to clean this. And then the shroud, you kind of have to wiggle it out from behind, behind this there. A little bit weird. So now we're gonna drain it. If your motor's hot, be very cautious. It's not too dangerous, but you don't want to do it when it's super hot. Unscrew the filler cap, okay? And then you see that oil, coolant temperature sensor right down there? That. You undo that, right? You just pull the plug, move it aside somewhere, and you pull that whole sensor off, just to drain as much coolant as possible. It's the lowest portion of the radiator. You pull the plug, there's 2 tabs on the side. Boom. And make sure you got stuff on the bottom, man, because it's gonna get messy. That's good though. Nice. And then go have a meal or something while it's draining. While you're down here, dude, might as well, look, what's your car at? 108, 113 or something? 113? If you're that deep in and you've never replaced your water pump or any of that sort, just replace all these hoses. The top radiator hose, lower radiator hose. We're gonna be replacing this overflow line as well because they're very brittle. Apparently they break around this area pretty often. And also to remove it, usually when you remove it, they tend to snap. Ideally, you do want to replace these clamps, right? But at the same time, if you don't have them, preserve them.
We do.
You have them? You got clamps?
Full stock.
We got clamps. It's real tight in there. And then that's gonna be a pain in the ass to remove as well. Because it's like, dude, it's like stuck on all these housings and everything. Boom. Oh, this one's way easier, dude. There we go. Try not to break this guy. I mean, Dennis's is still good. Oh, dude, yours is so easy. Why was mine stuck? And I broke mine. Oh my goodness, dude, yours is so easy to remove. Next up, remember how the serpentine belt needs to be because we're gonna have to loosen it up a little bit. Actually, all the way. We're gonna have to remove the belt.
This is where you see a nice M3 in its natural habitat on a lift.
You know what's the worst though? When you've just rebuilt your head and you're still leaking oil somehow. And it wasn't leaking before you rebuilt the head? Ah!
And he doesn't even know where it is.
It looks like it's the oil pan though, huh? It's a coincidence. It's a weird coincidence that it's leaking. Anyway, we're here for this car, okay?
Then you know there's a nice Honda Genesis sitting out in the parking lot. you know, with 0 issues.
Your turn signal doesn't work.
My turn signal?
Your brake light, sorry, your left rear brake light doesn't work. Or your light in general doesn't work. Did you not know? Oh, you didn't even show me your face! Look how confused this guy is!
How am I supposed to know without the...
Does your warning light not come on?
No. Is it really out?
It's really out. It's been
Why'd
out
you
for
tell
like
me?
2 weeks. I thought you knew.
No.
You're supposed to be able to see it from here.
Why does yours remove so easily? Dude, everything on mine was the most painful thing to remove. Tensioner. You take an 8mm hex, but you need a big extension for it and a ratchet because, dude, you're gonna be pushing that thing. You wanna loosen these 4 bolts on the water pump because you're gonna be reusing this pulley. The new water pump doesn't come with it. Just 4 10mm. Loosen up those 4 bolts before you loosen the tension on the serpentine. This is the thermostat housing right there. And the water pump is right there. And to do this job, doesn't take long at all. It's pretty nice. Now, undo this clip, all the sensors, remove all that, and be careful with the wiring. And there's 3 bolts, size 10. It's kind of confusing to remove it because it's like, it kind of clips in the back, and then the thermostat is in the way now, you know?
Well, what if we undo the water pump right now? Take it all at once.
All right, yeah, let's try that. Boom, 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 boom. 4 bolts, 10 mils. Quite simple. There is also a hard line that connects to the thermostat, or the water pump, obviously, right? Goes into here. Can't really see it, but it's right under there. Goes all the way under the vanos. Comes out from right here. And there's a 10mm bolt on the side. You're gonna have to feel it out. Well, you can't see it, right? You just have to feel it. It comes right underneath the vanos solenoid pack, and then that's the hard line right there. It's really thick. It's black.
How do you remove it?
There's a bolt right on the side of it. That hard line, it's kind of really annoying to get to, and dude, you cannot pick it up with the camera. Yeah, that bolt behind there, it's a 10mm. You'll feel it out. And once you pull it, that's the only thing that attaches itself to the water pump at this point. So in our case, it's the water pump is a little stuck, but Val pretty much got in there with the flathead and just bent the crap out of this thermostat since we're replacing it anyway. If you're gonna have to go this route, make sure you make sure the housing is all good and it's not scuffed or anything. Be careful with the housing. No one cares about the thermostat.
When you got the water pump out,
Shady's not-
it was kind of
Shady was
tough.
from-
He just took the long screwdriver and a hammer. He just kind of put it into here and kind of tapped on it.
When you're replacing the water pump, typically there's a gasket that goes around. In this case, it got stuck on, it got burnt on because of all the heat and whatnot. So take a scraper and just be really careful and take off all the residue and all the excess on this, you know, the old gasket and whatnot. Wipe it dry, wipe it clean, and put the new gasket on, boy. And the new O-rings, replace all the O-rings if you can. It's just better because we removed these and they were just super hard and they're super brittle, they just snap immediately. If your bolts are a little rusty, take a wire brush or something and just clean it off, you know. You won't get it perfect, but it's not a bad idea. Thermostat, water pump, together, they love each other. This is the only way to do it because you're gonna have to slide it on simultaneously onto all of this because it's gonna be impossible to put the thermostat. It's gonna be impossible to put it back on. Okay, water pump is on. It's secured. It's in those little stoppers in there. Thermostat housing is getting there. Make sure you put all the hard lines in. There we go. Slipped right on, nice and nice. Nice and nice. While he's cleaning the bolts, let's take these 3 bolts that go through the thermostat into the water pump. And we'll just kind of, you know, make it. There we go. We'll kind of make them go through a little bit. You don't have to tighten them all the way just because we're going to be still playing with the water pump. At this point, you're just kind of, I mean, you're going backwards now. All the bolts are tight. Let's tighten the belt. The belt, okay. When you're putting this pulley back onto the water pump, it's not symmetrical, okay? So it's gonna fit on bolts in a specific way. You're gonna have to find that up. You're gonna have to match it up pretty much, but it's pretty simple. See, you can only tighten these so much until your belt is on. Well, after all your pipes are on and your lines and everything's on, make sure every bolt is tight. Every bolt that you've loosened is tight. Every clamp that you've released is tight. Put everything back in, the sensors, the fan shroud, the fan, put everything back on. Remember, this is reverse thread, so lefty is tight. Put everything back and then start pouring in new coolant. Going back to my technique, the way I tighten or loosen these. So you put your big wrench on it, right? And remember, lefty is tighty, righty is loosey. So you put it on, and you take a long flathead, and you see these two bolts in between? You put the flathead just like that, and you push them on opposite ends. And there you go, it's tight. Simple and easy, you don't need no special tool, dude. If you're using BMW coolant, which we recommend, you're gonna have to mix it, it's not pre-mixed. So take a gallon of this, take a gallon of distilled water, take a funnel and start filling it until it gets to the top, and then start the car, let it run. Take that drain plug so get rid of all the bubbles, and I mean that's a whole different thing. But yeah, let's get to it. When you're doing this, keep in mind you want to turn the heater up all the way, but on low fan. Yeah, just keep it like that until all the air bubbles are out. There we go. Look at all that. Look at that, still so many bubbles. That's pretty much it. Just go drive it. Yeah, everything else, just rebuild the entire motor at this point, because why, you know, might as well. Nah, I'm just kidding. Dude, that's it. So just drive it, you know, keep checking your coolant temperature, keep checking your coolant level, make sure it's still there, and hopefully everything's good. Thanks for watching. Peace.